Hey there, geeks! Adam coming at you with another edition of Comic Card Crazy. Now, this time around, we have a unique set to share with you. These are Defective Comics trading cards from 1993. This is a set of comic book parody cards that really have something special to offer. It delves into comic book history, but includes the hot moment of the 90s in 1993. We're going to get into this. This is going to be the first of a multi-part video series because there are so many cards in this. You see how thick this whole box set is. So let's dive in and you'll learn a little bit more about Defective Comics. Okay, so here we are with our pack of Defective Comics trading cards, or should I say box, okay? It says each set contains all 50 Defective Comics trading cards and one entry for the grand prize sweepstakes. We will get into that the next video, that sweepstakes, but this set is one of only 40,000 limited edition factory sets produced of Defective Comics. So the question is that really the case, or is there more to it? Is that just a way to really get people to buy it because it seemed like it was collectible? But let's open these up. Okay, see, we got this here, and we'll take a look here. I'm just going to do half of this first, and we'll show you some of what they're dealing with here. So they start with something like this, which is literally like the history of comics, right? So a funny book, the lamest funnies, 100 yawns, all this kind of stuff. And it gives you some funny names down there, Dog, Breath, Harry, and I don't know, all that kind of stuff here. But let's see. So 1934, publisher Eekstern. And the historical significance proved there was someone out there dumb enough to buy the Sunday Funnies twice. And again, so Max C, instead of Max C Gaines, Max C Gainsweight was cleaning out his garage one day and paused to reread the Sunday Funnies. An idea was born. Anything to avoid cleaning that garage. Gainsweight invented the comic book on the spot. 60 years later, the nation is reading comic books and not cleaning out their garages. So again, you get this sense of this is the type of humor. And as you see at the bottom, Mark Voger is the mind behind all this. All right, so they have all sorts of comics. Speaking of, Max Gaines and what they were doing at EC and all that. So here we are with The Scent of Beer. Here are the tales that will make you smell the scent of beer. And, featuring, oh dear, I mean, we're getting some words here that you wouldn't expect from this. But there we go. We got a zombie in the back throwing up. And again, this will give you some details here. So these were the salad days for ACK publisher Bill Gainsweight, not to mention the steak, potatoes, and asparagus days, but a Senate Schlub committee hearing was not far off. And again, once again, Bad Magazine instead of Mad Magazine. This is pretty funny. Let's read here what they have to say. So the first funny book without one of those funny, annoying talking animals. So there you go. In 1952, Eck Comics publisher Bill Gainsweight suggested to editor Hardly Kurtzy, instead of Harvey Kurtzman, that he put out a humor magazine. Kurtzy edited Eck's 2 action titles, while fellow editor Al Fellstick put out Eck's remaining titles. But true to form, Kurtzy threw himself into his new project, and the rest is misery. So again, that is the kind of history of comics in general. But what about actual Defective Comics right here? So you see Batman here, or the Batty Man, with his Acme bat wings that seem to be disintegrating. And the guys that are watching it are not actually watching the action, they're watching the gal sunbathing on the rooftop. Let's see what this tells us about. After Irrational Comics struck newsstand gold with Hyperaction #1, they asked 18-year-old slob Kant to cook up a new superhero. Well, he couldn't, so he recycled some cinematic concepts and created a mysterious, dark, brooding costume crime fighter destined to fight a giant purple aliens and appear on fast food giveaway cups. So again, this is just after all the hype of Batman 89 and Batman Returns. So there you go, playing into a little bit of the history there, what Bob Kane was all about. All right, so here we go. So we have the Spastic 4. So thanks, human dork. Let's see what we get. The Thick, Mr. Spastic, Human Dork, Inkissable Girl. Together for the worst time. Yep, in the One Might Eaten magazine. There you go. So let's see what this one tells us about. Oh, Stan Lame. All right. Just when things looked bleakest for Marvy Comics, Irrational Comics publisher Jack Leibowitz shot his mouth off about Just Nuts League sales to Marvy Comics publisher Martin Batman during a golf game. Later, Jack wishes it had rained that day. So, there you go. This is one of those situations where they know the comics history, the origin of Marvel, and there you go. But here, let's get into our 90s. Okay, we'll get into more of the Silver Age and Golden Age stuff next time around. How about Rob Lighthead's Dumb Blood? So yes, Young Blood is back in comic shops now, but here going back to those early days of Image or Garbage Comics. So the worst exciting issue. Fun stuff. Let's see what they tell us about this. After a failed attempt at a career in the television industry through advertisements for a National Gene Company, Rob Lighthead took the world by storm in introducing Dumb Blood, a superhero team which consisted of stupid characters evened out by stupid storylines. How far off is that from the truth? Alright, now what about some Valiant Comics? We have Nap Time by Virulent. Oh, Nap Time is, I guess, was supposed to be the Unity crossover, but the Infernal Borer. Okay, so let's find out about this. The second in the Naptime saga that put Virulent on the map in 1992 told the origin of Always One Arresta's brother Gonna One Arresta. The Virulent universe is mapped out as it is revealed that the Infernal Borer has been on the scene throughout history following the path of the Geonappers and making sure that everyone gets a good night's sleep. So are they saying that Valiant Comics were boring? Is that what we're getting here? Immortal Warrior is more of a borer. Let's get back to Image then for some excitement. How about Psycho Force? Oh, they're not looking too healthy there. Let's read this. Who do they have for Mark Silvestri? That's what we got to find out. Just more trash from the garbage. Wow. As with the other garbage books, Psycho Force has no redeeming value outside of the fact that it is a coupon book. The coupon book was a phenomenon started by the Virulent crew, where fans would be forced to buy 2 copies of a comic so that they could realistically or ritualistically desecrate one in return for fabulous gifts and prizes. So not even a Mark Silvestri mention there. But what about Bad Girls? How about Tramporella? Illustrated to arouse and titillate you. Look out! She's gyrating inside the worst collector's edition. For you! Alright. Captivating comics about fantastic floozies. Worst appearance of Tramporella, the vampire floozy. Warpin Publishing was famous for horror mags like Lamset, not Lamest, Lamset, Monsters of Filmland, Creaky, and Earwax. The next logical step was a female horror May? Host, and so Tramporella and the thong bathing suit was born. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a horror mag host, and that is supposed to be Lamest Monsters of Filmland, but hey, I guess they didn't have a good copy editor. But what about for Child Cats, Covert Infant Teams? Wow. Look at these baby versions. Okay, first diaper filling issue. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, first to sucker comic stores to buying 100 copies in order to receive a worthless premium. Popular solo effort from Dummy. Child Cats proved his inability to tell a coherent story but disguise it with busy artwork. While there are many infants in the Child Cats team, we now know nothing more about them than when we started, except their incredible ability to cry when they are not pampered, the owners of Garbage Comics. Wow, so definitely had a chip on his shoulder here about Image. How about some more Valiant, though? Magnus Donut Biter. That is pretty great. If you're going to parody Magnus Robot Fighter, make him a Donut Biter. Okay, so yeah, so that is some wild stuff here. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's see if we got... Oh, how about something to parody our buddies at Chaos Comics? Evil Mikey. Who's bad? Who's bad? Horror when a black pop star turns white. Yikes. Okay, well, I can't imagine this is going to get much better, but the tale of a poor abused boy who secretly wishes to get back at his father for aiding him in becoming a multi-platinum selling pop star. His plan is to disgrace his family by consorting with an evil doctor to develop a serum to turn his skin white. All the while, one of his sisters is whining that the family fame is past her and is reduced to posing in men's magazines. So yeah, this is definitely poking fun in a harsh way. All right, getting back to Image though, how about Pig? You wanted your pit, but what if you got your pig? Hagen, first issue. All right. Let's see. The book that Stale Peons left his comfy job at as hunk artist for. So Stale Peon instead of Dale Keown. Pig number 1 was the first garbage comic to ship within 6 months of its original solicitation date. Oddly enough, the Pig preview in Dumb Blood number 4, which was supposed to ship 2 months before Pig, arrived weeks afterwards, causing fans to read the Pig saga out of order without any continuity. Well, that's probably true for a lot of people. What about Shallow Man? Shallow Man, who seems to have a baseball theme? Let's find out about this Shadow Man parody. Historical significance? Nothing! In this issue, we find Whack Bodyface, aka Shallow Man, coming to grips with the realization of what he is, a shallow man. His life revolves around the night, especially Tuesday when the Sports Network airs non-stop baseball games. He is addicted to cable TV and thanks to his housekeeper, Petty, who has placed a voodoo curse on him, he is doomed to spend the rest of his life reliving events he has seen on TV. Wow, okay. How about this? Instead of Solar Man of the Atom, we have So Lame Scam of the Atom. Get it? An all-white cover? Yep, there you go. Significance, first appearance of Gonna Wanna Resta. But yeah, oh, like Barry Windsor Smith, you have Barely Wins a Smile. Or BWS, as he likes to be known. Okay. Let's see. Well, we got another Valiant here. Ah, get back here. It's so ashamed, it doesn't even want to show itself. We have Rye. So, yep, from Virulent Comics. The book that bridged the Virulent and Garbage universe. The most significant issue of Virulent Comics history, Ride Number 0 tells the sordid futures of all the Virulent's heroes, with many heroes going the same route as the bar swingers and becoming alcoholics. Alright, let's move. Do we have a bar swingers comic here? We do! Instead of the Harbingers, we have the bar swingers, and they are quite naked, and it looks like birds are pooping all over them. Alright, classy stuff here. Virulent's first attempt at superhero team is botched up in this sorry comic as its heroes succumb to the pressure of being gifted with incredible powers and become alcoholics. Okay, well, let's jump over to a DC 90s comic. Oh, The Hangnail of Stuperman by Dan Jerkins and Brett Breathing. So there you go. The book that put Comics back on top. Superman number 75 concluded the Doomsday storyline with the death of Superman. It was available in 2 formats, the regular version and the one sealed with an uranium-plated cover hologram sheet of gold leaf, a 6-pack of beer, a nuclear waste so it could glow in the dark. Of course, no one would ever know because they haven't opened the bag yet. Ah, yes. Oh, now one of my favorites getting the treatment here, B.O. Stenchowar. But also, look, Turok's in there, too. What's their Turok? Let's find out. First major appearance of Toe Jam, yeah. So the first major appearance of Toe Jam since Bagnus number 12, BO14 met with instant success as it is also Fart Tears instead of Bart Sears. Sorry, Bart. First virulent comic art. Here, Barbarian Putrick realizes that his society's custom of monthly baths won't cut it in the virulent world of 1993. Okay. Alright, what about... Oh, going back to Marvel with X-Farce. Yep. So, special edition of the worst appearance of Marvy's lukewarm mutant team. First book to show Marvy Comics they could sell a lot more comics if they only printed number 1s. In an attempt to have an entire rack of comic books containing an X prefix, Marvy printed 23 different formats of this book, a continuation of the Nude Mutants comic. The mutant of the future, Feeble, kidnaps Professor Xylophone students and trains them as a short-order cooks. Okay. Alright. And how about the Ultimate 90s comic? We have Sprain. Oh dear. Biggest selling independent book produced by big-name ingrates thumbing their noses at the publishers who made them. In 1992, a group of artists broke away from the Big Two to form a Big Third. Sprain is a soldier reincarnated as a chain-bedecked hero with an unwieldy cape. There is also a passionate essay that no one can read because the type is too small and the paper is too dark. And finally, Buttshot. Bloodshot, Budshot, I don't know. I feel like we got to get Vin Diesel back in theaters with this one. Oh, oops, the plastic is peeling. Got those special gimmick covers. All right, marketing wonder of its time, Buttshot #1 was the first comic with a chromium cover. It also proved that you can't judge a book by its cover, for as amazing as the cover was, the inside proved to be nothing more than a couple pages of schlock about a man whose bloodstream had been computerized to where his senses have been heightened to that of a computer. So they're actually picking on Bloodshot there, but Buttshot, I mean, that's amazing. All right, let's find which was my favorite of this group. All right, so hope you got a few chuckles out of our first look at Defective Comics. It's a unique set. I want to say, it's very inside baseball. It's something just for the geeks who know about comic book history, who can have a laugh at themselves and the things that they loved. I mean, at the time, it was biting commentary about these upstarts at Image Comics, for sure, as we saw there. But yeah, it's lowbrow humor, but you can get a laugh. I gotta say, in that vein, Buttshot is my favorite. It's just so direct. It's to the point. It's hilarious. So I hope that you will come back for part 2 as we check out, all the other cards in the series. But also make sure that you're subscribed here, because we got a lot of other videos. We have haul videos where we have pieces of Wizard memorabilia and other items that come into our archives. We had a whole year where we were doing comic book reviews. We had way back when an action figure show where we were looking at, sharing our toys or new figures that we added. We're always mixing it up, so there's a lot of videos that you can find and enjoy. As long as you're subscribed here, you'll get the notification as soon as they go live for you. But also, if you want to get the whole history of comics from 1991 forward, we are covering every issue of Wizard Magazine on our main podcast, Wizards, the Podcast Guide to Comics, and we do that every week, so you can check that out. We have a ton of episodes in the archives. We're coming up on doing this for 7 years, so we are in the year 2001 in the Wizard Magazine publishing timeline right now, so you can go to wizardscomics.com to stream all those direct, or find us on your favorite podcast app, Wizards, the Podcast Guide to Comics, but we also have behind-the-scenes interviews with the people who made Wizard Magazine. You can find some of those on this channel as well. So we hope that you will stay involved with Wizards. You can find us on social media at Wizards Comics, at Wizards_Comics on Instagram. But yes, we will be back soon with part 2 on Defective Comics. But until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.